I'll wait for a couple of seconds. It takes some time for people to join in, and there might be some delays. I can see already one comment out here. Yes, it will be. I'll make sure, okay, each and every moment spent here is informative. So don't worry. I can see one comment on that. And can someone confirm that I am audible and very clear and there's no distractions in between? Can I see some comments on confirming that there's no distractions? I know it takes some time, so I'll wait for your responses. Hey, good morning, John. Good morning, Soumya. Thanks for confirming, John. Thanks, Ashwinder. Thanks for confirming. Okay, it is clear. Thank you again for confirming, Satish. Now I can see a couple of messages. Hi, Narendra. So we'll wait for a couple of minutes, not couple of minutes, maybe 2 more minutes, and then we will start, right? So let I'm expecting more people to join. Thank you, Hemant. Thank you for confirming. Good morning. Who is that? Kitchen Queen. I don't know what name you have given there. Maybe that's your YouTube name. I can see a YouTube icon, so that's a good name then. I would like to follow. Yes, Aruna, welcome. So I can see the numbers are increasing. Let's give 30 more seconds, not more than that, and we will start. We will start, and I'll make sure once we start, each and every moment spent is worth and informative. As somebody have asked whether it is informative, it will be. That's guaranteed. Fine. In between, if you have any doubts, you can just type in here. I'll try to clear, or else we'll start with questions. Fine. It's more than 3 minutes, so let's start. Okay, and let people join in one by one. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, all. Okay, I know you people are joining from different part of the globe and different time zone. So we welcome you. Okay, EduHubSpot, Nideesh-Balakrishnan, and I am leading the PMP side here, and we welcome you to this bi-weekly sections conducted by EduHubSpot for PMP. Practice questions. So we try to conduct these sessions to help each and every aspirants out there who are trying to crack PMP sooner or later. And these questions, these practice questions, are right now live, and later also, if you want to watch, these will be there as a recorded session. So you can use the same link, or you can visit EduHubSpot uh, YouTube channel, and there you can go to live tab and you can see all the question answer sessions conducted by us. So I welcome you all from behalf of EduHubSpot, and we are really happy that so much of number of people are joining our sessions to gain knowledge. I hope each and every moment spent in here will be informative, and you will take some learning back home. Fine. So the people who are already joining these sessions for regularly, you guys know how it works. Fine. The students who are with us, they know how it works. So let me explain the people who are joining for the first time how these live sessions work, and how we conduct it, and then we'll start proceeding with the question answer sessions. So basically today I will be presenting 5 PMI practice questions. Okay, PMI practice questions means the questions which is following the same format of your PMP exam, right? So scenario based questions, that's what I will be presenting. So I will show the question on the screen, and I'm expecting you guys to answer it. Now, how you can answer? You can put your answer in the chat. Fine, and please try not to follow the trend in the chat. You think from your side logically and see, which is the best answer, and then you put your answer here. Fine, and once I'll give you 1 minute for each question, and once the timer is done, I will explain, okay, the answer, and I'll show which is the best choice, and also I'll explain the reason behind the correct choice, and I will try to give some conceptual knowledge, behind it, so that you guys can take some more extra knowledge from the session. It will be crisp and short, okay. In our, let's say, risk topic. Fine. So in our PMP sessions, we take risk for 2 hours. The students who have joined, they know that 2 to 2.5 hours, the risk topic goes on. Now, when I'm going to explain the answer for any risk topic here, I'll be capsuling that concepts, okay, and I might try to explain risk in maybe 2 or 3 minutes or maximum five. Right, so don't think that's how risk is explained in EduHubSpot. Definitely, we get into deeper, and we give practical explanations there. But yeah, my time is limited here to 30 minutes, and normally it goes to 40. I don't mind. We won't compromise quality just for keep on time. But anyways, I won't. I'll make sure it's not extended beyond 40 also, because people have their own engagements. So let's start. I don't want to waste any more time. I would like to see any messages from you guys, whether you're ready to start the question answer sessions. Can I see some messages? And thanks for all the wishes, and good morning, good afternoons. All I have messaged. So I welcome each one of you. So let's start the session. Then I don't want to waste your time. So let me share the screen and present question number one. So I will give you. So I'll on the timer. I'll give you 1 minute. Okay, and then I'll be silent, and then you can read the question and give your answer in the chat. Fine. So let me present question number one. So I'm starting the timer. I hope it's visible. Oops, it's not completely visible. Yes, now it is visible. So let's start. So 9 seconds are left. Five, four, three, two, one, zero. Time up. Can I see some answers? Congratulations, Bernard. You're the one to answer first. I'll give you a few more seconds. I have seen very less answers are coming in here. Okay, I can see A, C, A. Think logically, read the question properly, and then answer. I'll give you 10 more seconds. So I can see people are having the fight between A and C, A as in alpha and C as in Charlie. Okay, fine. So let me read the question. I can see the trend is going with A and C. So let me explain. Okay, so here we go. So a project manager from a consulting firm is contracted to lead a new project for a client organization. Before initiating charter, Sorry, before initiating charter development, the project manager seeks to understand the high level purpose, objectives, and deliverables expected from the engagement. Okay, now that is the situation right now. Fine. Which document should the client provide to serve as the foundational input for preparing the project charter? Now, whatever you see in, okay, before they are putting in your situation, okay, scenario, they are giving an idea where you stand right now. Right, the project is not started; it's in initial stage. Okay, that's what it says, and then they are asking, okay, the expectation. Right. So always PMI questions have two parts. One, it will tell you the scenario, a situation in a project. Two, it might give you a problem statement. Okay, and number three, it will ask you the expectation from you as a project manager, as a scrum master, or any sort of role. So here they are saying with, okay, which document should the client provide to serve as the foundational input for preparing the project charter. Now it's not like as a project manager what they are expecting from you, but yeah, they are asking what document the client should provide you so that you can prepare a project charter. Fine. So let's try to understand which is the best choice here. So A says project. So many of you gone with A. So let's see. Project scope statement, okay, that outlines deliverables and success criteria. Look, project scope statement, okay, you create after initiating the project, okay, you have a planning stage. So after you initiate the project, then you have a planning phase. Okay, during planning phase, you define the scope of the project in detail. While defining the scope of the project, you create three documents, which is project scope statement, WPS dictionary. Fine. So first you collect requirements. Actually, the whole process is first you collect requirement, you document the requirements, and then you create project scope statement. Okay, then you create WPS and WPS dictionary. That's when your project scope statement is created. You're not yet there. Fine. Now B. So I'm crossing out A. Project management plan from previous similar engagement doesn't make any sense, right? Why a previous similar engagements project management plan will help me to create a project charter for current project. So B, I'm striking out. Anyways, you guys have not selected, so that's a good thing to see. C says statement of work, okay, SOW issued by the client that defines project expectations. This looks perfect for me. Fine. So your project is not started. Normally, the client first gives you the SOW. Based on the SOW only, after assessing the SOW only, okay, the vendor side, the seller side decides whether they can work with the client or they can deliver it. Right. Now, based on that, okay, a contract is signed, fine, and then a project is started. Now you are in a situation where everything is accepted and you are going to start a project. Now you want to prepare a project charter to initiate the project, right? And your SOW have the high level scope, okay, deliverables, even the timeline, which is high level milestones. These all details are there, and it is enough as an input for you to create a project charter and initiate the project. So definitely C is the best choice for me here. But still, let's read D. So work breakdown structure WBS detailing the full scope of the project. So as I explained with task A, that D also you prepare when you're actually scoping the project at the planning stage. Fine. So C is the best choice. So let's submit C. So the people who have selected C, you guys are correct. And here is the explanation. Fine. So let's proceed with the next question without wasting any time. I hope you guys have got some information. So whoever have selected A, B, please understand okay why C is correct. Fine. So let's proceed with the next question. And here we go. Let me start the timer. So 30 seconds is over. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Time is up. Can I see some answers? Hey, good to see you, Pratik. And you're the one who have started answering here. So I can see few people have gone with C, few have gone with B. Okay, let me wait for a few more answers and then. Hey, Jency, you're my current student. Good to see you. There are actually so many students. There are Nishta. Hi, good to see you here. Good to see you, Prabhu. Okay, I can see so many answers. So most of you have gone with A, C, B. Actually, not. You have selected all. One person have gone with B, but most of you have gone with C, and many of you have gone with B as well, and very few with A and D. Fine. Let's see. So let me read the question. So it says a construction project is scheduled in a region. Okay, now before I proceed, let me give you one tip of the day. Fine. So whenever you're reading a PMI questions, okay, they might start the question like this. Okay, you are a PM in a construction project, or you are a PM in oil and gas industry, or you are a PM in a IT industry, and XYZ. Right. So here PMI is not trying to check your industry specific expertise, right? So PMI have come up with this PMP program, okay, which is project management professionals, right? So they have come up with a common framework for project management, irrespective of which industry you're from. So the project management they are saying is a common framework, right? So they are not testing your industrial expertise. So please remember when they are mentioning that the project is construction or oil and gas or IT, never ever think from that industry specific. Just based on the PMI PMP teaching, okay, what is the PMP process? What is the project management process we have to follow? Right, that you have to think. Fine. So let's proceed. So a construction project is scheduled in a region that historically experiences flooding during specific months. As the project manager, okay, as the project manager prepares the risk management plan, they recognize that this environment factor could delay critical site based activities, okay, and increase cost. Fine. So that is the situation and problem statement. Now, what should the project manager do first to evaluate the potential impact of this known environmental hazard? Right. So it's a known environmental hazard. Let's see. Okay. So it's basically it's saying it's a risk. Right. Now let's see what is the best choice here. A says notify all stakeholders that flooding may impact timelines and cost projections. Look, you just identified a risk. Okay, so once you identify a risk, the next step is never that you're going to inform your stakeholders that the cost is going to increase because of so and so reason. Fine. So A is not at all a correct choice for me. So let's cross it out. B, consult weather history and government data to determine the likelihood of flooding. What does this mean? Right? Look, when it comes to risk, as per PMI, okay, how risk management is done. First, you have to plan. Okay, so you have to create a risk management plan and you have to plan how you are going to manage risk in this project. Fine, and based on the plan, you will follow it. And first step, what you will do is you will identify the risk. So it's already done. Second step is to analyze the risk. So you have to do a qualitative analysis first, which is mandatory, and then you have to do a quantitative analysis, which is optional. Fine. Now, qualitative analysis. When you do qualitative analysis, you do it based on the likelihood, the probability of the risk to happen, and what impact is it is going to create. So that's how you can do the qualitative analysis, and based on your probability and impact, you will calculate a risk score, and based on that you'll prioritize the risk. So that is the purpose of qualitative analysis you do in a project. Fine. Now C says, okay, when it's saying consult weather history and government data to determine, so you are actually doing the analysis, okay, to see the probability. So actually you're doing a qualitative analysis here. So you have identified the risk, now you are doing a qualitative analysis, which is the best choice here. Right. So B is the best choice. But let's see, If in case we can get a better choice than this. Okay, so add a flat contingency buffer to the project schedule and budget. Now add a flat contingency buffer to project schedule. Look, once you identify the risk, right, then you have to analyze it, qualitative analysis. And next is, okay, after qualitative analysis you have to plan a risk response, which is preventive action, okay, proactive action. Fine. So while you're planning the risk response, the risks which are low priority or on which you don't have any control, okay, those risks you will accept. Fine. And for those risks you might add a contingency resource. So this is not at all, appropriate answer here. So let's cross it out. D, reschedule execution activities to avoid working during the rainy season. Look, just because I have found out a risk, okay, I might not even, okay, right now we have to analyze. You might go for it, okay, but as per the risk response, if in case the risk response strategy what you're planning, this is the best way to handle the risk, maybe you might go for it. But we have not even analyzed the risk, so I don't go with D right now. Okay. After analysis, when you're actually planning a risk response, if in case this is the better choice, you might go for it. Fine. But B is the best choice for this question. So I'll go with B. So guys who have selected B, okay, you're correct. Fine. So here is the explanation what I've given. I think it will match. So let's go to the next question. So I hope so far you guys have got some value adds. You guys have got getting some information. So some first message what I got was that whether this session will be informative. I hope this session is going in the correct direction. So let's go to question number 3, and let me start the timer. So exactly 30 seconds is over, half of your time. Time up. Can I see some answers? Okay, here it comes. Congrats, Ajmal. You're the one who have answered first. So let me see. So people are going with C, D, B. Okay. I was thinking people are going in the same direction, but yeah, I can see mix of answers here. So all are going with C, B, and D. Okay, and many are actually going with C and okay, I can see equal numbers. I cannot differentiate. Okay, so let me wait for some more answers. Here comes A as well. So now I can see equally A, C, D, B, A, B, C, D. Every choice is selected by you all. Let's read the question. I don't know whether it is so confusing. Let's see. So the question says, while leading a government-funded initiative to improve pedestrian infrastructure in the rural region, the project manager and the team gather details input from the community members and local officials. Fine. So that is the situation. Fine. They systematically assess needs, expectations, and concerns to ensure alignment with the public interest throughout the project. Fine. That is also good. Where should this information be documented to guide engagement strategies and support effective stakeholder involvement? Fine. So let's read the answer now. A says capture it in resource management plan to ensure the team understands key stakeholder roles. Sorry guys, whoever selected A, it's the wrong choice, right? Look, resource management plan. Why you create a resource management plan? How to manage your resource? It's very simple, right? The name itself says. So in the resource management plan, you're going to define what all roles you need in the project, what all roles you need, and what is the responsibility you're going to give them, what is the authority you're going to give them. Okay, what are the skills, competencies, and experience you're looking in those roles. Fine. That is what is planned in your resource management plan. And then, okay, how you're going to estimate the resource? What is the hierarchical chart, visual chart you have? How you're going to do the reporting system? Fine. How you're going to estimate? How you're going to onboard the resource? Fine. How you're going to develop the resource? And then how you're going to put a monitoring system and manage the control and manage the resource. This is what you're going to plan in resource management plan. It's not about the stakeholders. Your resources are one of the stakeholders in your project, okay? But here they're not talking about that. Fine, so A is not the correct choice. B, log the findings in the SWOT analysis to guide strategic decision making. Look, here you're not asking to do a strategic decision. Yes, I agree SWOT analysis is used for such reasons. But here what they are asking you is where should this information be documented to guide engagement strategies, okay, and support effective stakeholder involvement. Now SWOT analysis you have to create to take decisions, right? So here also it says analyze to guide strategic decision makings. I won't vote actually B choice here. D says document the details within the stakeholder analysis to guide engagement and communication planning. No, C it seems to be very logical to me, right? So document the details within the stakeholder analysis to guide engagement and communication planning. Fine. So C seems to be good to me. So what they're saying, okay, normally in project management, what you do, you identify the stakeholders. Fine. After you identify the stakeholders, you will document. Okay, let me go to different mode. Fine. So let's talk now. Fine. So how stakeholder engagement comes into picture in project management? Fine. The first step is you have to identify a stakeholder. Fine. Once you identify the stakeholders, you will document them in a stakeholder register. Fine. And once you document, so in the stakeholder register, you will put some details of the stakeholders and their requirements and expectations. Fine. So that's what they're saying, what you're going to capture, right? Requirements and expectations. Then you'll create a what is a power interest grid, and not only power interest grid, there are other ways. You will classify the stakeholders so that you can prioritize them. Your stakeholder register is done. Second, you will create a stakeholder engagement plan where you'll assess the engagement level of the stakeholder, okay, and the current level and what is the desired level. So there's a matrix called SEAM, stakeholder engagement assessment matrix. And then you will actually plan a strategy for the stakeholder, how to get them involved, engaged. And then you'll create a communication management plan where based on the strategy, how the communication you have to use, okay, to keep them engaged in your project. Fine. Again, stakeholder engagement is a 1.5 hours topic in our PMP classes. So I just gave you a capsule out of it. So basically, C, okay, is actually saying that your. So let me go to the other mode. So yeah, see here it's saying actually, okay, exactly document the stakeholder analysis. So document it in stakeholder register, stakeholder engagement plan, and then plan the communication management plan. Right. So C is the best choice here. D, include it in the quality management plan to ensure deliverables meet expectations. Look, it's not the question, okay, it's not relevant here. Okay, include it in the quality management plan to ensure delivery. So it's not at all making in any connection, okay, with the question and answer. When the statement is not at all related to what they're asking. Fine. So I'm not taking D as an answer here. So C is the best choice. And I hope many of you have gone with C, which is the correct one. Fine. So let's go to the next question. And let me start the timer. Let's go. Now read this one very carefully and then answer. So last 10 seconds left. Fine, time up. Can I see some answers? Okay. Ajmul Khan, once again, you have started answering. Good to see that. Okay. Couple of answers I have seen. Now I can see people are going with C and D. Okay, the fight is between C and D. Okay, fine. You guys are fighting between C and D. Cool. So let me answer. And before I move, okay, one person have messaged in this chat. I don't want to take the name, but yeah, that person says I wanted to, in previous question, I wanted to type something, but I have typed a different choice. Look, it will happen in your PMI exams. Okay, be very careful. PMI exam, you have 180 questions, okay, and you have to answer 180 questions in 230 minutes. And if you do the math, okay, if you do the math, one question you have 1 minute 20 seconds to answer. Actually, it's 1 minute 16 seconds or so, right? And with such timer on your head, okay, and you have such a long 4 hours to answer and so many questions to answer, you might tend to hurry up, fine. And as somebody have done in this room, like when you try to select some answer, you might select some other answer and move on in a hurry, right? So never ever panic during the PMP exams. Okay, you try to sort out, you practice a lot, okay, and that's why we have 6 mock tests with EduHubSpot. Okay, the full length mock test allows every student to practice, okay, as a real exam, fine, so that you know how to manage your time. And we always say, okay, divide your exam into 3 parts. Anyway, they are dividing in the same way. 60, okay, 1 to 60, 61 to 120, and 121, 121 to 180. Why? After every 60 questions you have a 10 minutes break, right? So make sure, okay, first 60 you're trying to answer within 80 minutes. The second 60 you plan it for 70 minutes. The third 60 you plan it for 70 minutes. So if you target, okay, each 60 with 80, 70, 70, then you can complete your exam within 230 minutes without any problem. Okay, so practice that, keep practicing, okay. Never ever hurry and answer your questions in your real exam. It's else you won't know. Actually, you might be tending to answer the correct one and you end up answering something else. Fine. So anyways, let's go to this question answer here. So the question says, while executing a project, a low probability risk previously identified and documented in the risk register. Now, what does it mean? You have identified the risk and you have documented in a risk register. Fine. Suddenly materializes. Now, actually, it materializes also. Okay, it happened now. The unexpected event, okay, causes a temporary delay, and the project manager realizes that extra time is needed to mitigate its impact without affecting downstream milestones. Fine. Now, what is the most appropriate source of additional time to use in this situation? So you identified a risk, you documented it, it happened, it materialized, right? Now, okay, to handle it, you need some extra time. And that's what the situation is. Now it says what is the most appropriate source of additional time to use in this situation. Fine. A says reallocate time by moving some planned quality assurance checks. We never do that. We cannot, move some planned items just to accommodate such situations. Not allowed, right? So I won't go with A. No, it's not allowed. It's not appropriate. Fine. So I won't go with A. B, request a timeline extension directly from the project sponsor. Look, first there are few more steps to be done. Right now, there's a situation. Okay, we have to see what can be done. Not that you directly go run to a sponsor and ask for more. If in case there is a change, let's say you accept this as a change request, and then if you want an additional time or cost, then you have to trace it as a change request, analyze it, and then you might go to CCP for that, right? So B is not at all a correct or appropriate choice for this answer. So whoever is selected B, it's not correct way to do it. C says accelerate remaining activities through schedule crashing. Look, again, okay, I have a situation here where I have identified a risk and it has happened, and I need some extra time. Right now, for that reason, crashing, I won't say it's wrong, okay, but I'll keep it with me. Okay, so you're saying, you crash other, items which is already scheduled, you try to reduce it, and then it will help us. Let's see, okay, whether we can have a better choice. I won't say it's completely wrong, I'll keep it with me. Now, D says utilize contingency reserve set aside for anticipated risk. Now, if you compare D and C, right, look, what is contingency reserve? Let's try to understand. Right? As I was explaining, in previous question, that once you analyze the risk, right, after analyzing the risk, you will plan for a risk response. Fine. So when you plan for a risk response for threats, for a negative risk, so this one looks like a threat, negative risk. Okay, there are five response strategies you can plan. Fine. One is escalate, one is accept, one is avoid, one is mitigate, okay, and the last one is transfer. Fine. So the low priority risk, okay, and the risk which you don't have any control over, those risks you will accept. Fine. And for all the accepted risk, okay, you'll add a contingency reserve. Fine. Now here it says it was identified risk. Right. So it's already identified risk. It is in the risk register. Now it has happened. So for the known, okay, known unknown, we call it as known unknown. Risk is known unknown. For all the known unknowns, you will keep a contingency reserve, right, for accepted ones. So here it have happened. So contingency reserve can be used, okay, to solve the situation. So I would go with contingency reserve, which is following the process. So whenever you're selecting an answer, you have to make sure, okay, you're following the proper process from explained by PMI. And E says utilize management reserves set aside for the for such emergencies. Now look, management reserves are set aside for emergencies. I agree with that. Okay, but management reserves are for the unknown unknowns. Unknown unknown means the which is not at all identified. We never anticipated that it can happen. Suddenly it happened. But here it is known unknown. It's risk. You are already identified the risk. Okay, it's not like unknown unknown. It's not something some problem happened suddenly, right? As it was identified, it was registered. So it's a known unknown. So management reserves are for unknown unknowns, and your contingency reserves are for known unknowns. So known unknowns are the identified risk. Okay, so D is the best choice in this case, not C. Fine. So C I can consider if I didn't had enough contingency reserves and all. Okay, but here it seems D is the best choice. So let's go with it. Fine. So D is the best choice. Now let's go to the last question of the day, and I have done already 40 minutes. Okay, let's see. So here we go. Let me start the timer. Mohanraj, I'll come to you. You have said if contingency reserve is only for cost, and I'll come to you on that. And then Nandini has already answered it, but anyways, I will add some answer to it. So Shivanji, congratulations. This time you are the one who have started answering and before time. That's really good to see. So I have received couple of answers. Can I see more? Time is up. For my today's session, also my time is up, but let's extend for a couple of more minutes. So you guys are collectively going with C as in Charlie. Okay, fine. So before I proceed with the answer, okay, so somebody have asked whether your contingency reserves are only for cost. No. Okay, contingency reserves can be added for time as well. So when you add the contingency reserve for time, okay, automatically the cost is also added. Fine. Or else sometimes you'll add for cost alone. Let's say you have identified a risk on a uh, price hike on a material. Let's say, okay, so you identified a risk that there are chances that a price hike might happen in this material. Now, because you identify the risk and you don't have any control over that, you are accepting the risk, so you can add a contingency reserve for it. Fine. Same way, okay, any of the scheduled activities, if you see a risk of it getting delayed or prolonged, fine, you might again add a contingency reserve by adding some buffer days to it. But again, it should be calculative. Okay, it's not like you're just assuming and giving some buffer. So you have to calculate how many extra days because of that risk it might take, and then you can add additional time to it. So contingency, okay, can be on cost and time both. Fine. And when I add time, by default, cost is also increasing there. But anyways, so let's go to this question. So collectively, everybody have gone with C. So that's really good to see. We are ending with a collectively right choices. I hope. I hope. Let's see. So while executing a complex project, the project manager begins receiving complaints from key stakeholders about a lack of timely and sufficient updates. Fine. The project team believes the updates are being delivered as planned. Now, this is a project situation. Now, what is expected out of it? What is the first step the project manager should take to understand and address the communication concerns? So, what it says, okay, if you read the question, what is the first step the project manager should take to understand and address the communication? Okay. So A says increase the frequency of stakeholder meeting to proactively address the concern. Look, just by increasing the frequency of the stakeholder meeting won't help us. Okay, so thanks, you guys are not gone with A. Immediately distribute updated project communication to all stakeholders. Again, just by distributing my project communications to all stakeholders, it's not going to solve this problem, right? C says review the communication management plan to verify whether communication expectations are being met. That's the perfect choice. I would like to see, even though my team is saying, okay, we are actually going by plan, I want to see whether actually we are following the plan or not. Fine. So I would like to see that first. And C seems to be the best choice here. D says assume the communication model is flawed and propose adjusted. No, I cannot assume anything in a project. Okay, so definitely D is not the choice. So C. So you guys are actually so good to see we are ending the the session with everyone answering the correct choice here. So that is really good to see. So I hope the session was informative. Okay, I hope I have given some extra knowledge than only the question what we have discussed. So I would definitely like you guys to comment. Okay, if you liked the session, please add a comment. Okay, add a like to this video. And Shivangi, it's okay. Shivangi, yeah, good to see that you have scored 4 out of 5. So that's a really good score. I won't say today's questions were very easy. Okay, we had some complicated questions as well. So thanks a lot sharing your score. I think yeah, other people also can share your scores if you want. And if you have any doubts in whatever we have discussed today, okay, you can drop and I'll try to address that, and then I'll leave for the day. Maybe I'll stay back for 3 or 4 minutes and then leave. If you have any questions for as part of today's explanation or anything else, yeah, you can drop. Or else I'll end the session soon. Thank you. You like the questions. Thank you. You found it is very informative. Uh, my PMP application got rejected. I need some advice to submit again. Can anyone help from EduHubSpot? Please reach out to us. Okay, Mohan Raj, reach out to us. We will try for sure. But whenever you are filling up your applications, you have to show your own experiences, okay, in a PMI uh, way, right? So yeah, you can approach us. 3 out of 4 or 5, okay, not bad. Okay, I won't say it's a bad score. It's a decent one, but yeah, we can improvise on that for sure. So thank you. Many of you are saying it is informative. Thanks for that. That is the purpose of these sessions, to make it informative. And Khaja sir, I've seen you in my classes. Thanks for attending. I hope it was a good practice. You are asked if I can scroll up a bit. Okay, you wanted to see the question or explanation? I'm not sure. Is it enough? Again, Satish, 3 out of 5. It's a good score, not bad. But still, I would like to see three. 4 out of 4 or 5. But three is a decent score. Soumya, 3 out of 5. Soumya, that's a good score for you. Today only we had a chat. Okay, 3 out of 5 is actually good. Thank you, Aruna. You like the session? Okay, thank you all. Thanks a lot. Okay, I don't see any more questions and all here. Everybody have liked the session. Thanks all a lot. Maybe within the next 1 or 2 week, I'll conduct one more session. So please wait for LinkedIn announcement or in EduHubSpot. So again, okay, in EduHubSpot, whatever I have explained today, we take 1 or 2 hours to explain. Let it be stakeholder, let it be risk management. Okay, so whatever I explained here today was a capsuled format. Fine. So if in case you have any doubts or anything else, you can approach EduHubSpot for sure. Okay, and all these live sessions are recorded. You can go to EduHubSpot channel and you can look for live sessions and you can see hundreds of such live sessions conducted. Fine. So let's go with it. Thank you all. Thank you. See you next time.